The Paralyzed Veterans of America help to improve the quality of life for veterans and others with spinal cord dysfunction through their research, sports, recreation, education, and so much more. Joining me here today with more on the work that they are doing is member Ted Rake. Ted, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining me today. I know you're used to speaking to great big audiences. You have our audience at home listening. But how did you come into this organization?
It's been a heck of a journey, Claudia.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I was in a bad place before I started this. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, prime and progressive, and I'd always been an athlete, a really competitive person. And I got to tell you, when I started losing my physicality, I was in a dark place, and it almost cost me my life.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was through sources. I found Paralyzed Veterans of America, and after lots of nudging, I finally realized that life isn't over when you have a disability, okay? Mm-hmm. But you have to mentally put it in your mind, though, that that you can still do things. So the biggest thing I learned really was there's an adaptation for everything.
Yes, there is.
And I'll tell you what, I went from basically being in a chair feeling sorry for myself to being a two-time national champion with archery and several other adaptive sports. And I'm also a big proponent for helping disabled veterans and anyone else in the community who doesn't feel that they can do it by example, by showing them through example what I've done in the past year, that you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Absolutely.
Really.
How did this local chapter kind of bring all these things into focus for you that clearly it changed everything for you and opened up this whole new door?
Well, I think it gave me the opportunity first, because I didn't really realize that any of this was available, or anything about adaptive sports or hunting or anything you might be. Also, just the I don't want to say collaboration, but the support system you have. When you're around people who are in the same boat you are or worse, it makes you realize, maybe life isn't too bad. Mm-hmm. I hate to say that, because when someone's a lot worse off than you are, but it makes you think, if they can do these things.
Makes you grateful for what you do
makes
have.
You grateful,
like,
exactly.
Why am I complaining all of a sudden? Too, don't you feel like, too, just that common space of everybody in the group and this organization is uniquely positioned to totally understand where you're coming from.
Yes, Claudia.
Right? Like, when you are heard because somebody may be going through something similar, it's a whole other level of therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the support system,
and the support
too.
system.
Even for the caregivers, too. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be tough sometimes with a veteran who is really bad off, and, they need a lot of help. And sometimes that can be mentally taxing as well. And being able to have a conversation, or just maybe take a time out and go out to lunch with someone and just get away from it is a good thing as well.
Absolutely. There's a lot of events coming up. I know it's kind of, as we get into the spring and the summer season, let's talk about what this bass tournament first, or is there something before that? This is April 11th to the 13th at Lake Barkley, gorgeous Lake Barkley.
Yes, exactly. I've done that now 3 or 4 years now. I'll tell you what, getting out on the water on a beautiful morning, calm, quiet, it's food for the soul.
Sure is.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what do you, with this tournament, how many people will you compete against usually?
Oh, I would say usually there's a couple hundred.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know you're competitive. Do you try to get there in every year saying I'm going to beat everybody?
I try to win everything I do.
I knew.
We could be playing, racing to the exit door even.
Are there other events that are coming up that we can put on our calendars and be aware of?
Not at the moment that I can think of off the top of my head.
But I feel like this one fills up very quickly because it is so popular. It'd be a good time to go ahead and sign up now.
But we always have things that are coming up here, and the best thing to do, if you're a paralyzed veteran or even interested in volunteering like that, is reach out to us.
Yeah.
Because we could give you the information that you need to be able to see if you're interested, if you can qualify, and it would be a wonderful thing. And I have a phone number here for you, too.
Please.
If you are interested in volunteering or becoming a member, 502-635-6539. Give us a call.
There we go. Ted, thank you for sharing everything. Such an inspiration. You better win that tournament this year.
Oh, you better.
You on, For more information, just go to KIPVA.org.